So here's the headline. Lady Ballers becomes biggest launch in Daily Wire history. And that's according to Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring. And I personally have seen the film, and I liked it, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But first, let's take a look at this tweet from Jeremy Boring. He says, "Thank you to everyone who helped give Lady Ballers the biggest launch in Daily Wire Plus history. Best launch day for new subs, best launch day for new reviews, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the online buzz is off the charts." And he says, come and have a laugh with us at dailywireplus.com. And the thing about this movie is that it's only released on Daily Wire Plus. So if you have a subscription there, you can watch it without paying anything else. And the reason that you can only see the movie on Daily Wire Plus is because nobody else will touch it because of, obviously, political correctness. In an interview, Jeremy Boring said that distributors wouldn't touch it, so they couldn't get it into theaters. I guess they had to make sure there was plenty of room for all those The Marvels fans. And it's a shame because I think this movie would have done very well. Now, look, it's not a masterpiece, right? It's a goofball comedy, and it does its job. And you can see by the audience score here at 2,500 plus verified reviews, it's got 97%. So the audience likes it. Now, as for the critics, well, they're just refusing to review it. You've got one from Christian Toto, who I see his articles in the Daily Wire. No surprise, he likes it. Then you've got one, Movie Nation. Roger Moore says, "A groaning 110 minutes of agenda in search of a laugh." Yes, because one movie that's counter-narrative, that's too many. But the fact that there's only 2 critic reviews, that tells you something. I mean, obviously, critics are not like this. They're not allowed to like this. This is a movie about a coach who convinces his old high school state champion basketball team to get the gang back together, dress up as women, and clean up. So obviously, it's making fun of the absurdity of biological males competing in women's sports. And of course, for the left, this is just totally outrageous blasphemy, even though the majority of people don't agree with them. I mean, let's take a quick look at the trailer.
In a world where women's sports is being transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year.
Just that alone should be enough to send most movie critics back to college for a minimum of 3 more gender studies courses. But you might wonder, why aren't they reviewing it and just giving it terrible reviews? Because it seems like they might be giving up precious virtue points here. Well, I think probably it's that there's a kind of a wide agreement to just not give any sunlight to anything that has been deemed, off message. So maybe they decided to just stick their fingers in their ears, close their eyes, chant trans women are women, and just hope that it all went away. Now, I have seen the movie, and I will say this about it. It is surprisingly good. I did go in with low expectations, because the Daily Wire has no track record of kind of goofball comedies. And so I wasn't expecting that much, and going in with those expectations, I was pleasantly surprised. For me, it has that feel of the kind of 90s goofball comedy. It's the sort of thing I would have really enjoyed back then, back when I was still drinking, on a hungover Sunday afternoon. It would be hangover medicine for me. Just silly, fun, and it has a surprisingly kind of heartwarming ending to it. It does what it set out to do. And it's not a hateful movie. It's just making fun of something that is just so self-evidently absurd. And I think back 20 years ago, this wouldn't even have been seen as a political statement movie. It just would have been a comedy making fun of something ridiculous. So again, it's not a masterpiece, but I laughed out loud several times in the movie. It kept my attention the whole way through, and at no point did I get angry, which is a rare thing with the modern cinema. And I think it's just a real shame that it couldn't get a theatrical release because of political correctness, because this would have done very well. I think people are thirsting for something like this. It's making fun of something that is just so obviously ridiculous. People would have gone out. People would have given the Daily Wire their money to watch this in a cinema, if for nothing else than just to say thank you for not ignoring us. But anyway, they always say politics is downstream from culture. So we do need actually subversive comedy like this, because in this day and age, this is what subversive is, right? And we know that because the Daily Wire couldn't show this anywhere but on their own website. And if enough people support them making this kind of content by signing up, well, they're going to make more. I guess that's how it works. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.